Hi, welcome back to my video. So today I'm going to continue with the Advanced Logic Starters, which is the second pack from the top. And we've done the 20 by 30 puzzles in 10 and 11. So today I'm gonna try number 14, which is the next size, 30 by 45. This is a bigger puzzle, so I didn't want this video to be too long. So any simple steps I'm going to do it. I'm going to speed up a little bit. And of course, anything else that needs explanation, I will do so thoroughly. So here I go. So of course, the easy ones, right? Right, these simple ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Oh wow, okay, I was able to finish that side. Okay. So looking at the 5 and the 3, either way, you could look at 5 and 3 this way, or 5 and 3 this way, right? Difference of 2, so I need to have at least two black spaces. I only have space for 2, so this will turn into black spaces, and then these 2 will become gray, so I found the 3. Okay, so looking at the 2 here, right, I could only have one more black space in this area, right? And then in looking at this 2, right, 3 empty spaces, and I need to have 2 black spaces. But since I could have only one black space in here, because of this one has to be a black space. And since I found one in here, that'll satisfy this 2. Because I have one black space in here, and then I have two black spaces. So the remaining spaces will turn into gray. Um, let's look at this, 2 and the 3. 2, right? I could have one more black space in here, right? Because I already have one black space in here. And now looking at this 3, right? I need 3 black spaces, but since I could only have one in this area, the remaining 2 must become black spaces, right? Since I have one black space in here, 1, 2. So that means I found 2 black spaces for this one here. Oops. So 1 here, 1 here. So these 2 will turn into gray, right? Let's find that. Okay, let's go here, 2. I could have only 2 black spaces here. Looking at the 8, right? Since I could have only 2 black spaces in here, the remaining here, they all have to turn into black space, right? Since I have found the 2, this will turn into gray. 3, 5, 4, got that. 6 and the 3, right? Difference of 3, so 3 black spaces here, 3 gray spaces on the top. Oh, okay, so that I got right? 2, 2, the 7. Okay, let's go back here. Right, I could have one black space, right? Since looking at the 3, I have 2 black spaces already, so I could only have one more in this area. Looking at the 7, right? I have 5 black spaces, so I need to find 2 more, right? But since I could only have one more in this area, this has to be a black space, right? And then since I have 1 here, 1, 2, 3, so that satisfies this 3, right? One of them is in here, so these remaining spaces will turn into gray, like that, right? I found that. Okay, looking at the 4, right? I will have 2 more black spaces in this area, right? 2 more, because I have 2 here. So if 2 spaces here will turn into black, then looking at the 5, right? I have 1, 2, 3, right? And then I have 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more in here. So 3 and 2 makes 5. So I found all 5. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5, the 2 in here. That means these will turn into gray like that, right? So I found those. I got the 3. I found 3. Okay, looking at this, right? Looking at 6, right? I could have only one black space now, right? I already have 5. Now looking at the 4, since one of them will be a black space in here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I found all of them, right? So these two will turn into gray spaces. So I got the 5, right? I got that. Oh, I found 3 here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well, let's do this one. 5 and the 4, difference of 1. So I need to have one black space. The bottom row will turn into gray. I found 4, I found 3. Did I find it? Yeah, did I find 4? Okay, so looking at the 3, 3, right? Same number side by side. 1 black, 2 gray. So I need to have 1 black, 2 gray as well. I already have 2 gray, so this will be that, right? Okay, so now looking at 3 and 3 this way, top and bottom, right? 1 black, 2 gray, right? So these two will also become gray spaces, and this one will become black space, right? So I found that. I got the 4. Yeah. Okay, I got the 3. Okay, so 3, right? I could only have one more black space in here, right? Looking at the 5, I need to find 2 more black spaces, and I have 3 empty spaces. But among the 3 empty spaces, I could only have 1 black space in here, right? So this will turn into a black space, right? And since one of them will be a black space, 1, 2, 3. So that will satisfy this 3 here. 1 here, 2, 3. So these 2 will turn into gray space, and then I found them like that. Okay, okay, let's go here. 603, difference of 3, right? So, right, I got that. What else? 603 again, right? 603. So 3 black spaces, 3 gray spaces like that. That means I found this. 503, right? Difference of 2. So I need to have at least 2 black spaces, and I only have space for 1 more. So that's right. 503 again. Since I have 2 black spaces here, then this column on the left will all turn into gray spaces. So I got the 7. Yeah. So just to remind you that everything I'm doing right now, they're all covered in my previous tutorials. So you could refer to those for any questions, and you could always leave a comment below any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So in the meantime, 5 and the 4, difference of 1, I got 1 black space up there, so the bottom row will turn into gray spaces. Here, looking at the 6, I need to find 1 more black space, right? 1 more black space in here. Now looking at the 7, right? I need to find 6 more black spaces and have 7 empty spaces. But since I could only put 1 black space in this area right here because of that, right? The remaining spaces will turn into black spaces, right? So I'm going to have 1 here and then plus 5, so that satisfies this one here too. So I got 5 and the 6th one in here. So these two will turn into gray, right? 6 and the 5, difference of 1, I have 1 black space. So the top row will turn into gray spaces like that. Found that. Looking at this, Looking at the 6 on the top, I could have only one more black space, right, in this area. Right? And looking at the 5 here, I need to find 3 more black spaces out of the 4 empty spaces here. But out of the 4 empty spaces, I could only put 1 black space in this right here, right? Because of that. So the remaining 2 will turn into black spaces, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I have 1 black space in here plus the 5, so that will satisfy 6 here. So this will turn into gray, right? 4 and a 3, right? Difference of 1. I have black space here, 1 here, so I need to have 2, at least 2, and I only have space for the 2. So I have 2 black spaces here and 1 black, and so this one will turn into gray. So I got that. I found 5. What else? Okay, 6 under 4, right? Difference of 2. I have 3 black spaces, so I need to have 1 black space in this one, which I have. So the remaining will turn into gray. So I got that. Oh, okay, I found 6 here. Okay, I found 5. Okay, so we could move on. Found those. I got that. 6. Right. So let's look at 5 and 4, right? Difference of 1. So 1 black space this way, and then 3 gray, right? I found those. Again, 5 and 4, difference of 1, and only 1 black space here in this column. So the column here will turn into gray spaces. Did I find 4? Yes, I did. 5 and 3, difference of 2, so I need to have 2 black spaces on the top, right? I found 3 here as well. 1, because of the 1, I could only have 1 black space in here, in this area. Looking at the 4 here, right? I need to find 3 more black spaces, and I have 4 empty spaces. But among the 4, in this here, among the 2 spaces, I could only have 1 black space, right? So these 2 must turn into black spaces as well, right? Since I have 1 black space in here, I found that one, right? So the remaining spaces will turn into gray. Okay, I got that. Yeah, these are simple ones. I'm just gonna go as fast as I can, right? 2. Okay, so you could do this too, right? 3 and 3, same number, right? So same number down here as up there. I have 2 gray spaces, so these 2 spaces will also turn into gray. So I got 5. 2, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Okay, so 6. I got that. I found 5. Okay. Found the 3. Okay, here we go. 8 I got. Anything else? Okay, let's do the easy ones. Like that, right? That one too, I found, yes I did, 5, 4. Okay. Okay, so here, looking at the 4 here, right, I could only have 1 more black space. Right, I could have 1 more black space in this area. Now looking at this 4 here, right, I need 3 more out of the 4 empty spaces. But since I could have only 1 here, these 2 must turn into black spaces, right? And since I have 1 black space in here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, looking at this 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 2 will turn into gray spaces. Um, okay, uh, 6 under 5, difference of 1. I have 2 black spaces, so I need to have 1 black space in this area. So this will turn into gray, right? I got that. 7, found 5, yes. 3, 5, I got that. What do we, okay. 7 under 5, right? Difference of 2. I have a black space in this column, 1 black space. So remember, I could only have 1 black space, right? So I mean, I cannot have more than 1. So the remaining empty space will turn into gray. Since I have a black space up here, all 3 empty spaces in this column becomes black, right? I found the 5. Let's see. Okay, so looking at the 5 and the 5, this one and this one, right? Same number of black and gray spaces in this area and in this area, right? That row. So I have 2 black, 1 green, 1 gray, so I have 2 black, and so this one has to turn into a gray space as well, so that means I got that. Looking at the 3 and the 7, right? I could only have 3 in this area, right? Now I need to find 6 more out of the 7 empty spaces, right? I need to find 6 more black space, right, out of the 7 spaces, but here I could only fit 3, right? So the remaining 3, this one, and this one, they will turn into black spaces, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I got that. Okay, so we could do this one too. Looking at the 1, since I could have only 1 black space in this area, right? And then looking at the 6 here, I have 3. So since I could have only 1 black space here, 1, 2, 3, 4, remaining 2 spaces here will become black spaces like that, right? Oh, okay, what else can we do? Oh, easy ones, right? Okay, so let's do this one too. Okay, 3 and the 8 diagonally, right? Diagonal numbers, difference of 5, right? So that becomes all black, all becomes, and this part becomes gray, right? Looking at the 6 up there, right? I need 1 more black space, and look at the 6 here, right? Since I could have only 1 more black space in here, right? That's 1 and 2. So the rest remaining 4 empty spaces will all turn into black spaces, right? Oops. Right, so I found out 3. Okay, that was a given. Okay. 6 under 4, right? Difference of 2. I have 1 black space in this row. So this row, they will all turn into black spaces. And likewise here, 6 under 4 this way. I have 1 black space up here. So it becomes like that, right? And then let's look at, okay, 5 under 5. This is like one of my earlier tutorials. Same number against the edge, right? Then this becomes gray spaces, right? So I get the 7, 4, right? Looking at the 2, I can only have 1 more black space, right? And it has to be here. One of the 2 spaces here has to be a black space, because looking at the 5, I need 1 more, right? So I have 1 black space, and the second one here, so that will satisfy this 2, right? So 1, 2. So the remaining ones here will turn into gray spaces, I got the 4, I got the 3, right? That I found 4, yes I did, okay. 5, 7, 6, 3, I found 4, yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, okay, so 5 and the 4, right? Difference of 1. I have 1 black space in the top row, so I need to have 2 black spaces down here. 5 and the 4, difference of 1. I have 1 black space this row, so I need to have 2, right? Again, difference of 1. 4 and a 3, 1 black space. I need to have 2 here. This will turn into gray. 6 and the 4, I need to have difference of 2. I need to have at least 2 black spaces. I only have two empty spaces, so that will turn into black spaces, and like that, right? Okay, and looking at the 3 here, right? I could only have 1 more black space in this area, right? And then looking at the 6, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more, but since I could have only 1 in this area, this one will become a black space. That means I found 5 here, then I get that. Right, I found that. 4 I got. Yeah, because of the 1, right? Looking at the 5, I need 2 more black spaces, right? From the 3 empty spaces. But since only one of these could be a black space here, this one has to be a black space, right? And since one of them is a black space, that means I found one for this. Right? 5 and the 4, difference of 1. I have 2 black spaces up here. That means I need to have 1 on the top row, right? So I found that. I think, oh, okay, there's still one more step. Looking at the 3, looking at the 5, right? Looking at the 5 first, I need 3 more black spaces out of the 4 empty spaces. But I can only have 1 black space in this area because of this, right? So I can only have 1. So 1, 2, 3. So the remaining 2 spaces must turn into black spaces, right? That means I got the 6, I get that, I get that. So, oh, I thought here it is. I've left that one out. So that's it. That was not that bad. I hope I didn't go too fast, but if I did, or like again, any questions, please comment below, and I'll be happy to yeah, help you with solving them. So on my next video, I have a dilemma. I don't know if I should go to the next one, 30 by 45 medium plus, or I'm thinking about just doing from number 1 and just get all of them out of the way. So just in case if you're working on any one of these and have questions, you could just refer to them. So I guess you'll find out. And I'll try to upload another video within a day or two. So I hope you found this helpful, and